Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Heal with Grace podcast and happy new year. I'm really glad you're here, whether you're listening from the car, laying on the couch, or hiding in the bathroom from your family. Honestly, I'm proud of you for getting a moment to yourself. Today, we're going to look back at 2025 and really what helped you all the most. Like what podcast episodes were the most popular, what I've heard from my clients and students, like really digging into what was common, what did you need to hear, what did you need more of, and then really look towards what are we doing in 2026? How are we helping you recover and feel better in your body, in your mind, and in your life? Because everything that supported people last year is exactly what will also help you step into 2026 feeling safer, clearer, and more in your body. So, first and foremost, one of the most popular podcasts that you have listened to as the number one thing that shifted the feeling of safety in the body. When you stopped trying to fix your body and started helping your body feel safe, everything changed. And this came from the episode about finding messages of safety with Vanessa Blackstone and understanding that symptoms weren't the enemy, they were protective. I have talked to numerous people around how do they really know when they're in recovery mode? People who've been in recovery for years, people only doing this work for a few months and feeling better. Like, what is that indicator? And so many people have mentioned, I now see my body differently. I now see my symptoms as messengers. And I know I've said this a lot before on this podcast. And if you're deep in your symptoms or deep in pain, it's hard to see that or hard to feel that. I totally know when I would hear that and I believed it. I get it, right? I understand that. But inside, I was rolling my eyes and being like, I don't know how to do that. I'm in pain. I'm frustrated. I'm miserable in life. Like, I don't know how to see that. But I can now very much so attest to that's what I notice as well is something pops up every now and then. And yeah, I look at, okay, body, what are you needing to show me or tell me? Or, what's running in the background? What was activated? What fear was activated? What self defeating belief was activated about myself? Is there something triggered from my past? Like, what's going on right now? And so, when you can come at it from that place of curiosity and love, you feel more empowered, first of all, so much more empowered to help yourself and so much more compassion towards yourself and towards your body because it's just trying to help you. Those messengers become the activators for medicine. And the medicine is safety. Medicine is compassion. The medicine is expressing emotions that maybe you needed to express or setting a boundary that you didn't realize you needed to set, or your body saying, hey, this isn't right. We have to stop what we're doing. Symptoms, chronic symptoms, are a mind body human response. Every single human on this planet has a mind body connection, has physical symptoms that manifest from a mental and emotional place. It's just that some of us have it a little more chronically than others, or more debilitating, or develop these symptoms and syndromes, right? But everyone probably has had a stress headache, or everyone has had tight shoulder muscles, tight traps, right? Or a stomach ache when we're anxious. Everyone has had mind body symptoms and messengers that something's going on. So, my point being, when we can get to that place where you can learn how to send your body signals of safety and also be curious about what's happening, right? Like, okay, well, ooh, I'm having that stomach stuff again. For me, sometimes that might happen. I might have a little like digestive issues for a day. And I'm kind of like, okay, all right, what's happening? I don't have any fear around it. I know that it'll go away in the next day, probably. And it's really more just about like maybe I'm taking on too much or have something coming up that I'm nervous about, or I'm not giving myself enough time to slow down or something along those lines. It has nothing to do with usually what I ate or didn't eat or my gut dysbiosis is off. Like it doesn't have anything to do with that. It's more of like, hey, my body's trying to signal something to me. And when we can approach that from a place of compassion and love and safety, then it resolves itself and moves on. That's what recovery is. And I think that's been really helpful to hear from so many people who have told their story because I hope that it gives you hope that that's possible, one, and two, that we're not looking for perfection. I was just talking to a client the other day about how she's made so much progress in like almost not even like 3 months, to be honest. I even reiterated that to her. I was like, you've really taken on this work and you have transformed, And to be honest, Like when you came in, I've seen plenty of people, and also I could just tell how much you were really struggling. And so I was kind of curious of where this would take you and, what the trajectory would look like. And so my point being, she recognized maybe recovery doesn't look like literally never in the rest of my life have any kind of reaction or symptoms. It's all right, maybe here or there, and it's like a 2 out of 10 instead of a 8 out of 10. And sometimes I just kind of move on with life. I just kind of take it with me throughout the day. Or sometimes I look a little bit deeper and figure out what's going on. That's it. No fear around it, no anxiety around it, no frustration or hopelessness or depression that comes when we have symptoms. That's just a normal human body response. That's a beautiful place to be because you're so in touch with yourself. You're so in tune with your internal state and your inner self to have that relationship. You can have that relationship with yourself. And that is what I want for you. That's seriously so much about this work. Having a deeper relationship with yourself, with the people around you, with your life. That's what comes out of this work. All right. I kind of went into a whole other direction than when I started this first one. But that seems to be like understanding what recovery actually looks like, and then understanding that safety and curiosity are two of the biggest players in creating that recovery. Building safety in the body and being curious about your body and releasing the fear. I guess we could say three: curiosity, safety, releasing fear. Those are huge. And that's what I've seen a lot of this year. And honestly, I don't think that's just a year thing. That's going to continue to be really important pillars of this work. One of the other things that I recognized was self compassion. Right? I talk about it all the time on here. Self compassion, self compassion, self compassion, because there is not one person that I have not started working with, and not one person that I know, myself included, in my community of therapists and practitioners and coaches that do this work. Not one person started doing this work and said, yeah, I've got self compassion in the bag. I'm great. I love myself. I'm so compassionate and flexible with myself. No, said no one ever that needed to start this work. Most of you have either you're coming to or realizing how critical you are of yourself, how self critical you can be. And we cannot recover if we are self critical towards ourselves all the time. Now, again, we're not looking for perfection. We're looking for increased compassion, more grace and flexibility towards yourself instead of, "Oh, I can't believe I did this wrong," or "I'm shaming myself for making a mistake," or "I didn't meditate every single day this week. I'm such a bad person. I'm going to make myself sick or in pain," or blaming yourselves when you do have flares. That's not going to work. We're letting that go. Moving into 2026, we are giving ourselves all the compassion. And now I want to say this: compassion and flexibility and grace does not mean we just let ourselves be and rest and do nothing, like not hold ourselves accountable or strive for our goals or, meet what we really want for ourselves. No, we have both. We can have structure, hold ourselves accountable, meet our goals, be consistent daily, and do it with compassion and love. Those two things actually have to go together, because sometimes people think like, well, if I let myself off the hook, or if I'm too compassionate towards myself, then I'm not actually going to get anything done. I'm not actually going to heal because I just won't do anything, I'll just be lazy. No. Actually, there's an episode that I recorded with Dr. Michael Dow who talked about this. Having self compassion for yourself is, again, it is not weak. It is not lazy. It is this fierce, fierce place of loving yourself. And it takes courage and risk and bravery to do that because of how much fear we have on the other side of failing or not keeping up with X, Y, and Z, or not meeting our goals or whatever. So I want you to start seeing giving yourself compassion and love and grace as a non-negotiable. I'm very serious. It has to be one of the pillars of your healing, of your life, of being human. It is, I have not seen anyone recover without implementing it. I'll just say that. Okay. That's my direct talk to you during this. Another thing that I have realized and I've reflected on that really helps people recover is really leaning into emotional honesty and boundaries. Symptoms ease. And honestly, life gets better when you start speaking up and stop swallowing your feelings. So this can happen in really subtle ways because we don't actually understand that we're doing it because it's so automatic. So what I've realized and my clients have realized is that their pain, for example, like pelvic pain, starts getting worse when they say yes to things that they don't want to. Or maybe your fatigue spikes when you start to carry other people's emotions. or your bladder flares every time you avoid conflict, or the pain in your neck starts to happen when you have a lot of fear and anxiety about something. So it's not just about boundaries with other people, but it's also with yourself. When you can be really honest with how you're feeling about something, really truthful with yourself, it doesn't always mean you go and tell everyone about it or you tell the person. But when you can be honest with yourself and actually say it and express it and feel it, that's regulation, that's nervous system work. It doesn't mean that it's easy. And the moment when you're expressing it or feeling it, it can feel worse. It can feel like, well, if I say this out loud or if I feel it, it's going to be more true and it's going to take over, which actually the opposite happens. When you say it and you feel it and you express it, it stops having such a strong hold over you because it's not repressed anymore. It's not sitting underneath the surface in your subconscious, wreaking havoc all over your body because it's not suppressing and stressing out your nervous system. When you feel it and express it, you release it from that suppressed place. And when you feel that relief of expressing how you feel, how something has hurt you, or maybe that you start to realize you're over functioning for someone else, meaning you are taking care of their feelings more than your own, or you're people pleasing a little bit more than maybe you need to for yourself. Then you start to actually feel relief. You're honoring your own self. That's not selfish, that's not bad, that's healthy and it helps everyone around you. So for example, I have recognized many times that it's so small, it's so subtle. But with a friend or a partner or someone that I love and I care about, or many people, honestly, if they ask, say we are co working or something, say we're like hanging out in the same space, hanging out in the same area, we're working together, and I'm starting a task, like maybe I'm writing an email or I'm planning a podcast episode or something like that. And I start to get in the flow of it, right? Like, if you're creative or if you do anything for work, really, you know when you're in the flow of something rather than you're trying to force yourself to start doing it. For me, when I'm in the flow, I gotta stay there. I gotta like continue it. I gotta keep it going. But if someone asks me on help for something, or they say, hey, let's do this, or hey, do you want something, or whatever it is, they ask me for something, I have noticed I will stop what I'm doing and say, yeah, and I engage and do that thing or go out or ask them something, whatever it is to be engaged in. I just will stop what I'm doing and engage with them. If you really look at it, it can be small, right? It's not some huge thing that we need to be afraid of that we do. It's just recognizing these small things that you're doing constantly instead of saying, hey, actually, I'm in the flow of something. Let me finish this and then I can get back to you. You could say, let me finish this sentence or let me finish this whole project, whatever the situation entails. And I guarantee you they'll be fine. And if they're not, and if they're offended, well, that's on them and there's something off with that dynamic. And this might sound a little extreme, but what's underneath the surface there is that you're afraid of disappointing someone. You're afraid of rejecting them. You're afraid that they will judge you or think of you badly. Again, that might sound dramatic. Okay, they're just asking you to go get some food, or they're just asking you a quick question. But the reason why that's so important is because that's just a small example of how it happens time and time again within your life, from small things to big things. This is what I mean by boundaries. Speaking up, voicing your need in that small moment helps you voice your need in bigger moments. That's what honesty is with yourself, and then setting boundaries with other people means. Now, when it comes to feeling a certain way, maybe you feel like you're constantly taking on someone else's emotions. Like they're always coming to you to ask for your help or tell you how they feel. And you're just honest, always taking it on without actually asking yourself, like, do you want to hold this right now? Can you have space for this? And maybe that answer is not right now, but it is later. Or maybe it's not right now, but okay, maybe tomorrow. Those things are totally okay to say and to do. That's what I mean by just honoring these little subtle shifts. It makes a difference. It helps you feel more empowered and it helps your nervous system say, hey, it signals, hey, like, oh, we can take care of ourselves. I can listen to you. I honor you. And I learned how to express myself. When you start to shift these patterns, especially understanding how to pay attention to yourself, that's the biggest gift you can give yourself. So, really, as I wrap up some of this, what we're doing as we're heading into this new year is the year of being truthful and honest and embodiment with yourself. 2026 gets to be the year that you actually live this work. You start to feel the sensations without spiraling. You tell your body, we can do hard things. You learn how to feel sensations when they're in pain, even when they're high, and teach your body it's okay to be there. You start to support your emotions in the moment. You learn to express yourself and be radically honest with how you feel and what's going on. It's not easy, but it's the brave thing to do. And it's the thing that's going to get you out of your stuck place. You also start to offer safety instead of panic. Keep asking yourself, how can I create a little bit more of safety here in my body today? You start to listen to your body instead of fixing it. Listening with curiosity, not judgment, no fear. Even if I don't know what you're saying, I'm listening. I'm here. I'm always listening. Even if I can't hear you right in the moment, I'm always going to check in. You're also going to create boundaries that protect your peace. That's really, really important here. Boundaries with yourself, for your life, for your daily habits, and boundaries with other people. All of this helps build trust with yourself again. Trust in your nervous system, trust in grounding into the center of your body, and trust that you can be your own self healer. Remember that progress is not about effort. It's about nervous system safety becoming your default and not your emergency plan. So, as we step into the new year, I want to be really clear about how you can do this work. Because, yes, you can listen to the podcasts, read the books, all of those are really important. But I also understand that sometimes you need a little bit more support. I know I have, and I know many people I work with do. And so, I have a few offers that I want to send your way so that you can really grab onto this work and feel like, okay, I got this. I know what I'm doing. And we need support. I mean, most of the time, at least, I haven't really heard someone that does this completely on their own, never talks about it with anyone else. That's not how we heal as humans. So, first and foremost, the mind body healing method. I still have the mind body healing method course available. At this time, the live group is closed, but the self paced version is open and a perfect way to start the 2026. And basically, this is for you if you want a clear, structured roadmap to all of the skills and the tools that I talk about on here. If you want that same nervous system first method that my clients use to heal, the ones that teach you how to build safety in your body, how to emotionally regulate and express, how to retrain your brain, and have all of these tools that you can move through on your own timeline and you can have them forever. These practices are quick and easy. They're on your phone, they're downloadable, and you can listen to them and do them at any time. And really, at the end of the day, they're practices that help your brain feel safe enough to change. And it's really, honestly, it's the least overwhelming way to start this work and the most sustainable, which is why I think a lot of you, if you're listening and you've bought the course, it's why you have. I think I get that sometimes this work can be overwhelming. So it's a really great stepping stone to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to dip my toe in. Or, oh, I want this structured tool to really help me like forever. So it's a really amazing way to get started and to have everything I talk about, everything that you could ever really need in this work available to you. So find the link below for the mind body healing method. You can DM me to see if it's the right fit for you or just purchase it today. The next that I'm offering this year is one-to-one work with me. So one of the reasons that I'm closing the group right now, enrollment, is because I'm working on some other projects. I'm consulting with other programs, like dietitian programs and functional practice medicine programs, and I'm helping them structure and create their own nervous system courses. And that's really exciting. And then I'm going to work on a few other things. I'm going to keep growing this podcast. And with that, I'm going to shut down the group and really focus on my one-to-one clients and one-to-one support. So I really love this deep, close container. It's where we can get to know you and your nervous system really well and give you the specific guided tools for you when maybe you've been doing this for a little bit and you feel a little stuck or feels a little stale, or maybe you're kind of just getting started, but you know you love that one-to-one support. It's where we can get into the emotional work, the boundaries, the trauma, the rewiring the fear patterns. This is where that sweet spot is. The best part about this is that when you work one-to-one with me, you also get the self-paced mind body healing method. And the combination of these two is so freaking powerful. Honestly, not all, but most of the people that have been on this podcast that have shared their stories do this work. They have the self-paced and they have the one-to-one support. And it's just where people usually see the biggest shifts. You get the framework plus personalized help, applying it to your life, your patterns, your symptoms, your nervous system. And so if you've been wanting both structure and connection, this is it. And this is where I'm going to pour a lot of my time and energy all into my private clients. If you want to understand about that, if you want to learn if it's a good fit, you can find the link below to schedule a consult call with me and we can figure it out. All right, y'all. As you move into 2026, I really want you to know that you're not starting from scratch. Everything you learned last year, every podcast you've listened to, every moment of awareness, safety cue, every time you've met yourself with even a sliver of compassion, it has been rewiring something real. So your nervous system remembers that. And for this year, you get to build onto it. I'm really grateful that you're here. So let's make 2026 the year that your body finally gets to feel like home. Keep healing with grace, and I'll see you next week.